Hello friends, let's talk about season 2 of my channel. I know you guys have been watching a certain type of video, and for season 2 I'm going to change it up, and I'm going to change it up quite a bit. While I like what I've been doing on season 1, I think that I want to change things up to show the real me. I've been kind of tame in these videos, and what I think I want to do is I want to show more of my personality, more of who I am. This scares me tremendously. It has me terrified, but I think it's the type of video that is really going to be more entertaining. It's going to show more of who I am. It's going to show the lighter side of me, the funnier side of me, which I hope I can get across to you guys. So be prepared for a change in the upcoming videos, but for now, let's enjoy this. I just finished the first 90 days of my homesteading journey, and I wanted to spend some time doing a recap and a reflections with you guys on this first 90 days. I started this homesteading journey because I wanted to get more natural movement into my life. I also wanted to be more self-sufficient, so relying on myself to do more everyday things. I wanted to cook more at home. I wanted to be able to fix things myself without having to pay somebody to do it. I wanted to get back into woodworking, something I really enjoy. So that was kind of the whole reason for starting this journey and then documenting it along the way. So what did I expect for this journey? For one, I expected to really get into the garden and really just make it productive, build it out, make it so that I can really produce food that my family's going to eat and enjoy and benefit from. So that was one of the main things I was really hoping and expecting to get out of this journey. I was also hoping to be able to fix some things around the house that I knew needed fixing, and to do it myself, and to bring you along so you guys can see how I troubleshoot and walk through fixing things on my own. And then also I wanted to eat more foods at home. I wanted to cut back on the convenience food, and I wanted to try new recipes, really use the small appliances that I have at home more intentionally, and try new recipes with the boys and see if we can expand our horizons on the foods that we eat. What do I think I should have accomplished within these first 90 days? So for sure, I think I should have had a fully designed garden. Maybe not completely built, but at least fully designed the way that I think I can get the most out of it. I also wanted to explore more in food prep and freezer prep and food preservation, things like that. I also expected to at least get started on some of those things on my journey. And of course, getting a lot of natural movement in, being able to get outside and working in the garden, working around the house, just moving more naturally, opposed to having to do it through exercising on the treadmill. But I was never intending to give up my strength training. I was still going to be doing that, but not having to be on my treadmill as much for natural movement. I spent a lot of my days prior to starting this journey just walking on a treadmill or doing my strength training. Those were the two movements that I did the most to lose weight. And now I wanted to replace the treadmill exercising with more natural movement around the house and outside working in the garden. And so that was kind of the idea, or what I was hoping to accomplish, is not having to use the treadmill as much. But I did intend on keeping my 3 days of strength training. So what has surprised me the most on this journey? I think the thing that surprised me the most is going to be how much time I dedicated just to gardening. Again, homesteading is more than a garden. There's a lot of other tasks that have to do with homesteading, but I mostly focused these first 90 days on just gardening and not really on the other items that have to do with homesteading. What did I find harder than expected? For me, I think it was really eating at home more. I don't know why that was so hard for me. I think we did go through a challenging time during this first 90 days, which caused us to lose a lot of sleep. We weren't prepared for, what we were going through. And so I think that was one of the things that caused it harder for me to stick to eating at home more. When I don't sleep well, I don't make better decisions during the day. And so, of course, one of the first things that's going to go is eating properly. The other thing is really trying to stick to my strength training workouts. Those things that went out the window completely when we were going through this challenging time. So, but as far as homesteading goes, I really didn't have proper systems in place to be able to keep up with eating well and eating at home. And so that was one of the harder things to keep up with. On the weekends, I was able to dedicate a lot of time to the garden, but during the weekdays, really not a lot of attention went to homesteading. We were kind of just trying to keep up with everything that was going on. And so on the weekends is really when I focused on homesteading. And then at that time, I really was only focusing on garden tasks. How did homesteading fit into my daily life? So Monday through Friday, it really didn't fit in at all, right? Because I wasn't doing any tasks during the week. But on the weekends, I was really focusing on my garden. And so, well, I really did dedicate a lot of time on my garden on the weekends. So I need to, going forward, probably figure out, because homesteading is more than just a weekend responsibility, right? Every single day of the week, I can be doing something related to my homestead and building up things that will help my family. So I think the next stage is really trying to figure out how to do more on homesteading than just on the weekends. What did I have to sacrifice to keep this journey going? I really didn't sacrifice anything. In fact, I didn't do what I was supposed to do other than the gardening tasks, right? So I didn't eat, at home, or I didn't prepare my homemade meals, which is something that I feel like was a sacrifice. And so I think in the next stages of this journey, I really want to get some systems in place that can help me be more intentional. Did I have any habits that actually stuck? So there was 2 habits that I did not compromise through the first 90 days, even through the challenging time that we went through. So the first one is my morning Bible study. I'm doing the Bible recap. It's 365 days of reading through the Bible, and I did not compromise on that at all. And the other item that I didn't compromise was making homemade bread for the boys. And I don't know why this is so important to me, but I do make the boys a homemade loaf of bread twice a week, so that they can have bread to eat. And we've completely cut out buying bread from the store because I do this, and that's another thing that I have not compromised on. I mean, we ate out all the time, but the bread was made at home. And I don't know why that was so important to me, but it was. And so those are the 2 habits that really stuck throughout this first 90 days of this journey. The habits that didn't stick, other than of course not eating well, was my daily movement. And so because I wasn't doing anything for my homesteading on a daily basis, I was only really doing it on the weekends. On the weekends I was getting a lot of movement, natural movement, which is the goal, but not really during the week. And so that, I think, was something that did not stick. And hopefully going forward, I can find a way to do tasks daily that's going to get me that daily movement in. Let's talk about lessons learned. How did I handle frustration during this first 90 days? For me, typically when I get frustrated, I just shut down. I just don't do anything. I shut down mentally, I shut down physically, I shut down emotionally. I can't do anything when I'm frustrated. And so when we entered the most challenging part of this last 90 days, I stopped everything. And so that was something that I really have to learn how to push through, because I didn't do anything related to my homesteading channel those last 90 days because of the frustration I was under. And those are things where I really can just put systems in place that can help me, because I'm always going to run into frustration. I just need to figure out what systems will keep me motivated and keep me going even when things get challenging. What did this first 90 days of homesteading reveal about my discipline and my habits? I think it revealed that it's just not there yet. I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to work through over the next, few months as I'm learning to be a homesteader. And I don't have everything in place right now just to be able to be successful at this. So I really do need to buckle down. I need to start doing some real research. I need to start figuring things out and putting systems in place that will help me to really start getting this homestead going properly. Where did I surprise myself with this first 90 days of homesteading? I think is how much I really dedicated to the garden. Building that second raised bed, trying to get my seedlings to survive, to grow, really getting them into the ground. So everything that I really dedicated to my garden, I should have also been, all that time that I dedicated, I should have also been dedicating to other areas of the homesteading journey. And so that's something that really surprised me, is how, focused I was on the one thing. And I really need to start expanding that focus a little bit more. So what changes moving forward? I think what's going to change is I'm going to be more intentional in what I'm doing when it comes to homesteading. I'm really going to start researching, how to properly get my garden set up. I'm really going to start researching other homesteading tasks that I need to do. Really look at, meal prep and freezer meal prep, using the appliances in the kitchen, things that I have available to me so that I can eat out less and prepare myself better. I also really want to research a couple of woodworking projects and start really lining up when I'm going to work on those things, and make a running list of the things that I have to fix in the house. There's so many things that need to be fixed. I just don't have them documented. I'm looking at them every day. So I think I'm really going to get intentional about listing those down and start working on them little by little over the next couple of weeks. So this is going to wrap up the reflections on my first 90 days of homesteading. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I will see you on the next one.